It's Tuesday. It's the Betting Edge with the Prez. I'm him, Lawrence Presman, co-founder of WagerTalk Media, and so much to talk to you guys about. Tuesday's show lineup with me is simple. Puck Time with Dave Koken and Alex B. Smith up at WagerTalk TV, our YouTube channel. The College Football Betting Show with Dave Koken and Teddy Covers up at WagerTalk TV, our YouTube channel. We also have this show, The Betting Edge. Drew Martin and Ralph Michaels joining us. And later on this evening will be the NFL Presidential Address with Ralph Michaels. We also have a bunch of promos for you guys. Everybody is absolutely rolling right now. Just unbelievable. And a happy college basketball New Year to you all. Let's bring in our guests, Drew Martin and Ralph Michaels. And without any further ado, both of you guys, college basketball gods. Ralph, we've been giving out promos for your college basketball for 2 straight weeks. We have to talk about Drew Martin right now. Drew, this is your absolute best sport, 58% over the last 3 years in college basketball. Just keep winning. You go on beautiful runs in this sport. And we've got a promo for everybody. Drew 300. That's $300 off of Drew's season in college basketball. Drew, fill us in, brother. Why is this your sport?
Well, thanks for the props, Prez. And I would say mainly because I go after it mostly from totals, and I think totals can be a little more difficult, especially in college basketball. You know, there's over 300 teams, a lot for the odds makers to do, and they only started posting totals on every college basketball game, a couple years ago, so it's kind of new, and you can pick off some inaccurate lines, so to speak. So I've just had a little success here, 140 and 100 over the last 3 years in college basketball totals. Going to stick to my guns and go after it hard this year, Prez. So really excited to get after college basketball.
Drew, I've got a question for you. You know, talking about totals, I have one total up today for tonight. How much of effect will the 3-point line getting moved back come into play in your thought process, or are you taking the wait and see approach?
Well, it's a fascinating question. One, I guess I can answer it with, I do think it will matter a little bit, not too much. But Ralph, college basketball is a sport I'm not really necessarily putting pedal to the metal right from the get-go, Ralph. It's one of the sports I like to watch and see what's happening, because this is a sport where, there's over 300 teams. If you're going full blast from day one, you're kind of trusting other people's opinion, the beat writers, the coach speak. And every now and again, as you know, Ralph, that can be kind of misleading. So I've had more success kind of waiting a week and then going at it hard in college basketball.
Well, the interesting thing is, I have the exact opposite approach. You guys that have downloaded the WagerTalk College Basketball Guide, you know the work I've put into it preseason. You know that I think I put more work into the odds makers. Odds makers are worried about college basketball. They're worried about NBA, NHL, college football, all those sports. And now they have to add in 353 Division I college basketball teams. I actually have 5 plays available today on opening night. I think the lines are soft. 5 plays, WagerTalk, $39 value. I'm the $2 capper today, so you're getting all 5 plays for $2. Fire away.
Yeah, and that's about as good an offer as we've ever given on $2 Tuesdays. Speaking of $2 Tuesdays, as Ralph Michaels said, he is the $2 Tuesday handicapper over at WagerTalk.com. 5 college basketball plays for only $2. Drew Martin, what's going on over at Sports Memo?
Well, college basketball season, getting started. We got mid-major Matt, myself, a couple other guys that have had good college basketball last couple years. But the $2 handicapper is Andrew McGinnis again, back-to-back Tuesdays. He's just been hot in the NBA, and we're going to keep riding him. So he's the $2 handicapper. You get a huge discount. I believe he's 13-2 run his last 15 in the NBA. So check it out, sportsmemo.com for just $2.
14-2 his last 16.
Real
quick, guys, and then we're going to get into some games. Both of you are doing a college basketball show. It starts today. It's being hosted by Joe Ranieri. It's with Drew Martin from Sports Memo and Ralph Michaels from WagerTalk. Do either of you want to just talk about that show, what the customers, the listeners can expect, when it should be up? Ralph?
Well, a correction. Mid-major Matt, likely the host that'll be the co-host that'll be on the most from Sports Memo, but that will change. So Drew will be on occasion as well. Here's the deal, Prez. Joe and I are just taking it easy. We're going to do a show today. We're going to do a show Friday. We're going to ask the people what else they want. But it's going to be a very segmented show. There's going to be a technical play of the day. There's going to be a mismatch of the day. There's going to be my power ratings play of the day. We're going to talk about a couple games. We're going to get you in and out. It's going to be out likely right after I do the Sports Grid TV show. So it'll be filmed about 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern, and it'll be a happy hour tip-off show to get you in gear for that night's college hoops.
Good luck with that. And Drew, my apologies. I knew it was mid-major Matt, given that I'm one of the guys putting the show together. I just got lost in your baby blue eyes.
Ralph, that show sounds really cool, man. The
too,
happy hour
Drew.
Atmosphere. What's that?
Heard someone else did too. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to change Drew's offer for his college basketball season mid-show. Drew, you ready?
Have at it.
So if you guys have not bought a college basketball expert and you want $300 off of Drew Martin's college basketball season, use the promo code Drew300. However, for everybody who has already bought Ralph Michaels college basketball, email Drew your username. He will check that you have Ralph Michaels' college basketball season, and he will add his for $299. $299 for his entire college basketball season if you've already bought Ralph Michaels. Drew, give out an email address and let's get to the show.
Support@sportsmemo.com is probably the best way for customer service to reach out from Sports Memo. That's support@sportsmemo.com. Also keep in mind, Ralph, great college basketball handicapper. I'm a great have been a good college basketball handicapper. Two different styles. He's going to be a little bit more volume, and I'm going to be heading at it from a CBB totals perspective. So two different ways to try to get an advantage.
There you go, guys. $299, an add-on, an upsell. Washington, Ralph, -10 going into Oregon State. The over and under is 65 in this game. And I'll tell you something flat out. I'm impressed with this Oregon State team. Washington looked good for 3 quarters last week against Utah. I can't lay in this game here. I think Oregon State plus the 10 is the right way to go. What do you think?
How many people in America can name the quarterback that has a 19-1 ratio? Well, that's exactly what Jake Luton has at Oregon State, and he's been that good. You got Pearson Jefferson, 2 running backs, over 1,000 yards, 5.5 yards per carry. I was on this Oregon State team at UCLA. I called for the outright upset against Cal. I was on him last week against Arizona. I am not getting off of them. You look at their season, and yeah, they may only be 4-4, and they're still learning how to win. And Washington may be the superior team on paper, and they're clearly the favorite. But year-to-date stats, the teams have only almost played like schedules. And Washington's plus 0.8 yards per play. Oregon State's plus 0.2. There's only a 0.6 yards per play difference. That certainly doesn't necessitate a team being a double-digit road favorite. I think Oregon State's playing up to their potential. The only negative is the road teams covered all 8 in Oregon State games, but that's not gonna stop me from being on them here. I do like the Beavers. I actually like them. Let's steal a VR line. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit on the money line.
I like
Drew. It. Yeah, my woman just walked in mid-show. Don't remember what Ralph said. I don't even know what game we're talking about. Take it away.
Well, if she didn't have clothes on, I don't blame you, man.
She has clothes on. Come. Let them see your sweatshirt. Your hair looks amazing. You're hot. Don't worry. Come, look at the sweatshirt.
Nice. Real women love hockey.
Yes. Drew, what do you like in this game?
Good stuff, Prez, by the way. Congrats to you, man. In a lot to what Ralph was just talking about, it speaks to their ATS record, Ralph. What, 6-1 their last 7 ATS, and like you said, like schedules compared to Washington. Washington's kind of had a rough go of it ATS wise. 5-4, not making nearly as much money, and they're having to go on the road here in Corvallis. I know it's kind of maybe like a high school stadium on steroids, but in Pac-12 play, that kind of gets a little wild atmosphere. And like you said, Jake Luton, 19-1, transferring over from the Idaho Vandals. He's really stepped up in Pac-12 play. I would ride the hot hand here with Oregon State 6-1 ATS. I like the dog as well.
Yeah, we're all on the same page on this one. Guys, it's $2 Tuesdays at Sports Memo and Wager Talk. And also, I have a 5-unit play, the highest rated play we have at Wager Talk and Sports Memo. It's in hockey tonight. Last week I had a 5%er as well on the Tampa Bay over. It was a real easy winner. Over 6.5, 13 goals were scored. Tonight I've got another one. You can have it for $20 off. Use the promo code Prez NHL20. That's Prez NHL20. And also, if you want a week of all my plays, Prez 79. Guys, let's talk some NFL football. Ralph, you and I have got a show going later tonight where we'll take apart the entire board. I'm rolling in NFL football right now. 5-1 my last 6, 10-3 my last 13. And I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. They're minus 4.5, and they're hosting Arizona. And I already know some very talented guys that I respect that are playing on Arizona. I don't see it, Ralph. Look, I get that Tampa Bay had a heartbreaking loss last week against Seattle. I get that they've lost 3 games in a row. I don't think they were ever playing for anything this year anyway, other than to find out what they have in Jameis Winston. And I think this team is trying to win. I think they've got weapons. And I think we saw an Arizona team that at the beginning of the season that played better than they are. I'm going to take Tampa minus the 4.5 here.
I agree with you, Prez. You look at what this line was at the beginning of the season, it was probably closer to 8 or 9. You look at what Tampa Bay has done. Yeah, they lost, but you know what? They lost to New Orleans. They lost to Carolina. They lost to Tennessee. They lost to Seattle. All 4 teams that very, very well may be in the playoffs. You look at Arizona and you're surprised they have some wins. Well, those wins, tie against Detroit, a win against Cincinnati, a win against Atlanta, a win against the Giants. None of those are winning teams. And Tampa Bay is not a winning team at 2-5, but I certainly have Tampa Bay higher than all those teams. The like scenario in the Arizona Cardinals games, all those wins, they rushed for over 100 yards. They rushed for 112 against Detroit, 286 or 266 against Cincinnati, and then they rushed for Atlanta 102, the Giants 156. Well, Tampa Bay has one of the best rush defenses in the NFL at 3.4 yards per carry. They're only allowing 78 yards per carry. And let's add in that, while there has been a turnover and it's been 2 years removed, you still have a head coach in Arians that knows much of this personnel from when he was the head coach there a couple years ago.
Yeah, no, we are on the same page on this one. Drew, what do you like in this game?
This is a game I haven't bet yet, Prez, but I think I'm leaning towards the other side here, mainly because Arizona has extra time to prepare, to Tampa making the travel spot back home, yes, but across country to prepare here for Arizona. I think Arizona can be a little bit tougher offense to prepare for, and what Arizona has also been covering of late, winning 4 of their last 5 ATS. I know they're not winning straight up to what Ralph was saying, but they are staying within some numbers. So staying within 4.5, I think is quite possible. I think Cliff Kingsbury and company can go into Tampa Bay. I'd lean with the dog here.
He's Drew Martin from sportsmemo.com. Ralph Michaels from WagerTalk. You're watching the Betting Edge with the Prez. We're doing one game in each sport except hockey. You can find all the hockey info you want on Puck Time as well. While I'm mentioning hockey, I'm going to do a quick scroll change because Carmine Bianco needs to be singled out right now. Ralph, you're following all of this stuff as you are head of handicappers or whatever your title is. He's on an 18-3 NHL run. 18-3. Bloody ludicrous stuff. You guys can have $145 off of his NHL until the All-Star break. Use the promo code CARM350. Ralph, I know you tend to stay away from NBA, but the Lakers 5-1 start to the season. They're on the road playing the Bulls. The Bulls are +7 at home, a total that has gone up 4 points from 212.5 to 216.5. Do you have any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I lean with the under. And, the Lakers, unlike Houston, in Houston, we've seen Westbrook and Harden failed to cover their first 6 games. What happens? Westbrook sits out yesterday, and Houston covers their first game because they didn't have both of them. But Davis and LeBron are learning how to play together. Both are putting up numbers, and both are playing defense. So when LeBron has a big guy like that in the middle that plays some D, I think they're on the winning streak. I think they're happy. And again, following LeBron from his Cleveland days, yeah, winning's important, but he doesn't care about his record now. He cares about his team learning to play better defense. And he's a very good coach teaching young kids how to do that. And, the Lakers have a bunch of young kids because they traded everyone to get AD. So, I'm going to start looking for them to continue to play lockdown defense, to start to look to slow the pace in some areas. And against a team they can beat and should beat as a 7-point road favorite, I'm looking for an under as they start to, like I said, work their defensive schemes into the team mode.
Drew Martin, any thoughts on this Laker game? I'm 2-1, by the way, in NBA this year. How's your NBA started, Drew?
I don't have a service for NBA. I kind of follow Ski Profit, a couple other guys that have had good NBA starts, but I'm not trying to beat it long term or anything like that, but getting involved sometimes, Prez. And I guess just to piggyback off of what Ralph said, I would lean towards the under here as well. The Lakers, 2-4 out the gate towards the under, plus the fact Chicago Bulls under 500 in terms of their over-under record, just 3 overs, 4 unders. So I like the sentiment there of what Ralph had to say in terms of LeBron teaching for more of a defensive kind of, that's how the Lakers are going at this season. So I would lean towards the under here.
Yeah, and Ski Profit, how good is he in NFL? I mean, just an NBA. I just finished an outstanding WNBA season, and you can find Ski over at WagerTalk.com. Ralph, college hoops, baby, your sport, your porn, if you will. Michigan State -3 versus Kentucky. Neutral site game. 2 teams with a whole lot of pedigree behind them and a whole lot of hopes ahead. What do you like?
Yeah, I have to jump back. Prez, as you were telling me, I have to look at what the records are. What's your overall run?
27-12.
Oh, very good. I was making sure you knew that. 27-12-1. Let's not forget the push.
I always forget the push, Ralph.
69% since October 24th, Prez. In that period of time, since October 24th, you've given your customers a profit of 58.5%. So 58 units since October 24th is one hell of a run. Congrats.
And you know what, Ralph? Flat out, it's just begun. I'm telling you now, it's just begun. And I also want both of you guys to know, people come on these shows and, I've been promoting a lot of Prez for the last 7-8 days, and it's because I'm on a massive run. But ultimately, I'm really good in college basketball too. And I haven't spoken about college basketball at all. I am 60% over the last season and a half of college basketball. So I know my stuff in that sport too, but these shows aren't about me. They're about you. So Ralph, Spartans versus Wildcats.
Before the lines came out, I made a line on this game, and I made it Michigan State 4.5. So Michigan State opened up a 1-point favorite. It's now up to 3. So it's heading to where I thought it would be. With that being said, though, why aren't I betting it? Well, because when I made my line, I made it to where I thought Vegas would open their line, not where I thought the true line is. There's a big difference there because Vegas is, we're putting a line out where we think a line should be, and Vegas is putting out a line where they're going to get equal money. Well, when it's 1 against 2, the reason it's 1 against 2 is because of the blue ribbon. there's one premier college basketball source out there. It's the Blue Ribbon College Basketball Yearbook. When they have Michigan State as their number one team in the yearbook, every voter on the AP is buying the Blue Ribbon, and every player is going to vote that. Every media guy is going to vote that the number one team. So it's no surprise Blue Ribbon has Michigan State 1, Kentucky 2. Fans buy it. They see Michigan State 1. So I thought the line should be a little higher. But in this game, Josh Langford's still not playing. He missed the last 27 games for Michigan State. If he gets healthy and plays to the level he can, Michigan State is the best team in the country. But he's still not playing. We probably have two of the best point guards in the country in Cassius Winston and Ashton Hagans. It's going to be an incredible matchup. But I think in this game, Kentucky's height is going to come to the forefront. They've got a big forefront with Montgomery, 6'10", a power forward, Richard, 6'11" at center. Michigan State counters with 6'6" and 6'8" with their power forward and their center. I think Kentucky brings the ball inside, tries to use that height advantage. I think the pace gets slowed down, and I lean with the under.
Drew, are you with Ralph on the under, and do you have any opinion on the side?
I like the under as well. Ralph brings up some good points in terms of the point guards, Cash Winston and Hagans for Kentucky. Last year, betting Kentucky unders for a pretty good portion of time in the regular season was a great bet because Hagans' on-ball defense, it would slow the opposing point guard down and make their offense slow. So Kentucky had a good run there towards the unders. I would look for that again right out of the gate, plus the fact Ralph touched on it. Kentucky is long, they're lanky, they're a tough team to score against, in my opinion. We can get it as high as 139.5. I do think that is a little high here in a neutral site game. A lot of eyeballs on it, and you could see nerves coming out the gate. So like the first half under and the full game under in this main event here, number 1 versus number 2.
What a fun show, guys. This is going to be the new format for the Betting Edge moving forward, where we'll take apart one game in each sport. Ralph, always a pleasure. I look forward to doing the NFL presidential address with you later. Drew, listen, let's go over your promo again. It's Drew 300. That's $300 off of your college basketball season. And guys, if you already have Ralph Michaels' college basketball season and you want to top it up with some totals from Drew, just email Drew at support@sportsmemo.com. Email him your username and password at WagerTalk. He has access to both sites. Once he checks, he will send you a link or a coupon code to get his package for only $2.99. Drew, we're on the same page?
On the same page, yeah, absolutely. And
you are now. I'm glad you had a lot to say with that, Drew. When Prez got for that special, he didn't say, Drew, how about this special? He said, Drew, here's the special.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the only thing I'd add is you can just kind of email support WagerTalk or Sports Memo. So it's just because sometimes we get overloaded with the CS at Sports Memo.
Yeah, and Ralph, I didn't ask. You got a problem with that? We have an HR department.
No, I don't have a problem because you didn't say whoever has Drew can email me for a $2.99. You said whoever has me can email Drew, so no problems at all.
Yeah, dude. But listen, both of you guys are as busy as it gets. I mean, Drew, you've got a new show starting. You're hosting a bunch of shows every day. I'm really excited about your career trajectory right now, brother, and honored and privileged to have you as part of our team.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. And it's fun. It's a great time working with both of you, and hope to see you soon, Prez. You're coming to Vegas, right?
Yeah, you'll be in studio tomorrow?
I will, man. You will too?
Yeah, I will be. And me and you are going to go outside and talk for 5 minutes because we got a lot of hopes. High hopes. Great song by Pink Floyd, by the way. It's on Division Bell. It's called High Hopes. And we've got a lot of high hopes for you, my brother. Guys, that's the show. Ralph, see you a little later for the NFL presidential address. I love you all. Guys, thanks so much for listening. I'll see you all on Tuesday. Joe Ranieri will be hosting the Betting Edge for the next 4 days, and Carmine Bianco will be hosting Puck Time. I'm the Prez, and I'm going on 4 days of poker and work. Always work, but I'm an old man now, Drew. I don't work as hard as you.
Where do you play poker at, or do you not want to say on air?
Oh, I'll be at the Venetian. If anybody wants to say hi to me, hook me up through Twitter, at Prez WagerTalk. I'm happy to talk. I'm playing in the seniors event on Thursday. $400 buy-in, and then I'm playing in the deep stack double super, whatever it's called, 1100 buy-in on the Friday. So yeah, if you're around, guys, tweet me and I'll come out and say hello. Later, boys.
Thanks, guys.